And welcome back to a new series that we're doing called Efficiency Gap in Marketing. My name's Ben Baker, and this is Alexandra Egan. And this is going to be a great four-part series we're going to bring to you over the next 4 weeks that is all about what are the gaps in marketing? Are we doing it right? Are we doing it for the right people? What are the things that are keeping us from doing it effectively? How can we do it better? And how are we as leaders able to manage more effectively to make sure not only the systems and processes are done more effectively, but the people are empowered to do what needs to be done to do superior work and to be able to be more productive. So, Alexandra, let's get into this. Let's
Thanks,
talk.
Ben.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the
Thank you. It's
show.
great to be here. I'm
You know, I
excited. So,
love I love having you here. Let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk about is what's the problem? What's the biggest problem you see in terms of marketing process today? Where do you think the gaps are that are keeping people from being successful in their marketing today?
yeah, that's such a great question for me. And in my experience over the years, it's lack of awareness and that lack of knowledge and lack of understanding.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is that lack of understanding of what marketing truly is. What is it or what does it even mean? But also to the awareness of what is it that we need to be marketing specifically and to whom. That's really important. So for me, and the biggest gap is not knowing who it is that we're marketing to. We really need to get clear on our client, who our client is, what they need. In fact, we need to know our client better than they know themselves, to be honest, for us to be able to stand out from the crowd. And it's also knowing our value as a business or as an individual and our services and the product that we're selling for us to be able to hit the mark.
No,
I believe there's a massive gap there.
yeah, I agree with you because too many people, I call it shoot, ready, aim marketing.
Yeah, I
The
love that.
best way to put it is shoot, ready, aim marketing. Is they just sit there and they blow the marketing out there in the field, and they sit there and say, "Oh, now let's think about who it's for. Let's think about the
Mm,
message. Now let's think about are we resonating with their audience? Now we're going to say, oh, wait a second, hey, are we? What's the metrics we're actually trying to to capture? What's our goal?
mm.
Those are the things we need to be thinking about first. We need to be thinking
Absolutely.
about who's our audience? What do we want them to do? Why do we want them to do it? How are we going to be able to get them to resonate with our message?
Mm,
What do we want them to do next? Are
yeah,
they the right audience
absolutely.
for our message? Are they going to be able to afford our product or service?
Absolutely. And I love what you said in the beginning there. It's like throwing darts on a dartboard, but missing the target every time because you're not really focused on where it is that target is. And so throwing darts with the hope that you're going to get the target is probably not a very good way to, nor a sustainable way for any business owner to be doing business. And you're right. It's really about identifying what is important to our client in that moment at that time for the right reason. And it's really doing that homework. A lot of people tend to skip the research, and I
Yeah.
find that that's the biggest gap, right? So it's really about understanding what is it that your client needs. Who are they? Where do they hang out? What keeps them up at night? That old question, which is actually such a great question. Why are they stressed out? What is it that they need from you right now? But more importantly, why should they choose you? Why you specifically? If there was a panel of the same people offering the same service, what would stand you out from the crowd specifically? So you need to get clear on that. But also too, it's getting out there and doing the research around assumptions. We all assume we know what our customers need. But when we're putting those assumptions in front of our prospective clients and asking, is this really what you need? This is what I think you need. Is this what you need? You'd be surprised at what comes back. And doing that homework is really, really important for your business to be solid ultimately.
Yeah, because if you don't do that, all you're doing is, as you said, throwing darts in the wind.
Yeah,
You're throwing
yeah.
darts in the wind and just saying, oh, well, There's people over there. Okay, we'll market to them. Okay, there's people over here. We're going to market to them. Okay, there's people over there. They're going to market to them. No, that looks right. Oh, wait a second. I spent $50,000 and I got absolutely nothing out of it. Oh, okay. Well, we'll throw $50,000 over here now. That doesn't work.
No,
I,
it doesn't
I
work.
look at people out there with a social media strategy of we'll be everywhere. We'll be
Yeah.
everywhere. We're going to be on TikTok. We're going to be on Instagram. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on LinkedIn. We're going to be on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it today. And I'm sitting there going, why?
Mm.
Why are you on all these platforms? Well, everybody else is. That's a lousy reason to be there.
Absolutely. And let's face it, we don't want to be everything to everyone. That's
No.
exhausting, right? We want to be able to hit the mark specifically. But one of the things too is also understanding who it is or what it is that you stand for as well. One of the things that I do with my clients is I say to them, think of your business as a project, because ultimately it is a project. And I want you to plan it out in those phases. So first and foremost, it is an idea. And so therefore, this idea that you have, you need to structure it. You've got your planning, your execution, and so on and so forth. Have a look. Your planning is your marketing. Your marketing comes in under that banner. But then under the planning, you've got other subtasks as well that come in under those. And it's so pertinent to be able to go through those and make sure that you've hit the mark specifically, concisely, clearly, to have it all there. And people, what I've noticed too, Ben, if I may, is people think that marketing is just your black and white stuff, like your branding. Your branding is part of it. It's a massive part of it, but your branding has so many other subcategories that come in under it, right? That market you as an individual. So it's how you turn up as an individual, your communication style, how it is that you treat people, how you show up, how you treat your team, whether there is a turnover of staff. That in itself is marketing, because it's saying to people, well, why does Ben or Alex have so many people churning over? What's going on there? That in itself is marketing something, right? So for me, marketing is everywhere. You're doing it all of the time.
Yes, you are. Whether you're doing it
Yeah.
purposely or inadvertently, you're always doing it.
Yeah.
As Jeff Bezos says, your brand is how people think about you when you're not in the room. It's and
Absolutely.
your brand. What people need to understand is the difference between brand, marketing, and advertising. Brand is
Mm,
who you are as a company. It's the essence. It's what you do, why you do it, who you do it for, and the value you add to society. It's
yeah.
the core values of what you do as a company, of which if you stop doing these things, you stop existing. That's your brand.
Mm, mm.
Marketing is the story that you tell about your brand to the world.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Advertising is the actually selling of products and services within the moment, saying, I have a
Mm,
product and service, and I need for you to be able to trade your dollars for this product or service. That is advertising. So it's long-term, long-tail marketing versus short-term advertising. So it's being able to get people to understand the difference between all of these things. But the challenge is, if we as people don't take the time and understanding who we're marketing to, who we're advertising to, why they buy, when they buy, how they buy, what the emotional drivers are that cause them to buy, what keep them from buying in the first place, we're never going to get people to cross the chasm from being a disinterested party to an interested customer.
mm. Yeah, you make a really good point. I'm just going to go back to the advertising and the marketing that you spoke about, Ben. You make a really good point there. If we do our marketing right, every aspect of our marketing, the advertising can't, it just flows. It just, because you're really doing it already. So when we're marketing and when we're building a solid brand, advertising just happens, then it flows, because you don't
Right.
have to, you've done all the solid work, you've done all the back end work, you've done all the hard yards, so to speak. You've created, as you said, your marketing with value. So therefore you're creating trust, you're building your reputation, your credibility. People trust you, people know you, people like you. You've got to be able to be liked. I remember someone saying to me a very long time ago, when you're selling or when you're marketing, you've got to help or make people feel something so that they remember you. Be it something, just an emotion. because we're emotional beings, right? We
We are
can't forget
absolutely
that.
emotional beings.
We want to feel something. So I want to say, Ben made me feel like this. I'm going to go back and see Ben. I'm going to go buy Ben's stuff instead of buying Alex's stuff because Ben made me feel this way. And that's what makes me tick
Mhm.
versus going to Alex or whatever the case may be. So for me, I always say to my clients, make someone feel something. Whether you make them laugh, whether you make them cry, it doesn't matter. You've made them feel something. So therefore, they're going to come back to you. That's building a brand. That's
Because the people
marketing.
that you don't make feel, the ones that you don't create an emotional tie to, are not your clients.
That's exactly
And they
right.
probably will never be your clients.
Mm,
And that's
mm,
okay, because 90% of the world will probably never be a client of yours. Maybe
mm.
95, maybe 98. And that's all right.
It's absolutely all right. Because as I said earlier, as we said earlier, we don't want to be everything to everyone because then we're not offering quality. So quality is another thing that comes in under your brand and marketing. So if you're racing through to get through everybody and not providing quality, then rest assured they're not coming back because they haven't got what they wanted from you. And quality is important.
So
It's
let's
all
sum
part of
this
brand
up.
building.
So let's sum this up in terms of a first process, in terms of the emotion, the
Mm,
efficiency gap. If we're not going out and taking the time to find out who our customers are, why they buy from us, why they don't buy from us, what they need, what their emotional drivers are, what their challenges are, what's keeping them up at night. And if we're not speaking to that, then we're never going to be able to differentiate ourselves in terms of our marketing. And that's where we want to be. So
absolutely.
until next week, I'm Ben, and this is Alexandra, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Ben.